Introduction to reptiles and amphibians. Reptiles and amphibians are two distinct classes of animals that are often confused due to their similar habitats and appearance. However, they have significant differences in their physiology, life cycles, and ecological roles. Understanding these differences helps us appreciate their unique adaptations and the roles they play in the environment. Habitat and adaptation. Reptiles and amphibians occupy different habitats and have adapted to their environments in distinct ways. Reptiles, such as snakes, lizards, and turtles, are primarily terrestrial and are well adapted to dry conditions. They have developed features such as scaly skin and efficient water conservation mechanisms. Amphibians, including frogs, toads, and salamanders, are typically found in or near water sources and require moist environments to thrive. Their skin is permeable and helps in respiration and moisture absorption. Skin and protection. One of the most noticeable differences between reptiles and amphibians is their skin. Reptiles have dry, scaly skin that provides protection against water loss and physical damage. Their scales are made of keratin, a tough, protective protein. Amphibians have smooth, moist skin that allows for cutaneous respiration, breathing through the skin. This skin is often sensitive and requires a humid environment to prevent dehydration and facilitate gas exchange. Reproduction and life cycle. Reptiles and amphibians also differ significantly in their reproductive strategies and life cycles. Reptiles lay amniotic eggs, which have a protective shell and are adapted for development on land. This adaptation allows them to reproduce away from water bodies. In contrast, most amphibians lay eggs in water or moist environments. Their eggs hatch into larvae, such as tadpoles, which undergo metamorphosis to become adult amphibians. This dual life cycle links amphibians closely with aquatic and terrestrial habitats. Respiratory systems. The respiratory systems of reptiles and amphibians reflect their different life strategies. Reptiles primarily use lungs for respiration, although some can also exchange gases through their skin. Their lung structure is adapted to their mostly terrestrial lifestyle. Amphibians, on the other hand, have both lungs, in adult forms, and gills, in larval stages, and their skin plays a crucial role in respiration, especially in moist environments. Temperature regulation. Reptiles are ectothermic, meaning they rely on external sources of heat to regulate their body temperature. They often bask in the sun to raise their body temperature and seek shade or burrow to cool down. Amphibians are also ectothermic but are more sensitive to temperature fluctuations due to their reliance on moist habitats. Their body temperature is more directly influenced by the ambient environment, and they may hibernate or estivate to cope with extreme conditions. Sensory adaptations. Reptiles and amphibians have different sensory adaptations suited to their lifestyles. Reptiles generally have well-developed vision and can detect a wide range of colors, aiding in hunting and navigation. Their sense of smell is often less acute. Amphibians, in contrast, rely more on their sense of smell and hearing, especially for locating mates and detecting environmental changes. Their visual acuity can be less developed compared to reptiles. Evolutionary history. The evolutionary history of reptiles and amphibians reveals their distinct lineages. Amphibians are considered more primitive, with a lineage dating back to early vertebrates that first adapted to land. Reptiles evolved later, building on amphibian ancestry and further adapting to terrestrial life. This evolutionary divergence reflects their specialized adaptations and ecological niches. Ecological roles. Reptiles and amphibians play vital roles in ecosystems. Reptiles often serve as predators and help control insect and rodent populations. They are also prey for various other animals. Amphibians contribute to controlling insect populations, particularly mosquitoes, and serve as indicators of environmental health due to their sensitivity to pollution and habitat changes. Conclusion. Reptiles and amphibians exhibit distinct differences in their adaptations, life cycles, and ecological roles. Reptiles are adapted for a primarily terrestrial lifestyle with dry, scaly skin and amniotic eggs, while amphibians are linked to aquatic environments with moist skin and a complex life cycle involving metamorphosis. These differences highlight the diverse evolutionary paths and ecological functions of these fascinating groups of animals.